Good evening, children. I hope everyone are doing fine. Let us continue with the chapter Heredity and Evolution. Today, we are going to study about acquired and inherited traits, and also we shall know the major difference between these two, that is acquired trait and inherited traits. So, let us begin. So, coming to acquired traits. So, what do you mean by acquired? So, general meaning for acquired. So, we are developing the thing within ourselves, right? So, whatever it might be, studying or playing or making friendship with good people or developing good habits, all these are acquired knowledge, right? So, as we grow older and older, we keep learning the things, isn't it? And these are said to be acquired traits only because it is not inherited from your parents, right? So there are few parents who are uneducated and see their children are so educated, and they have like they have been working in high professions and earning more amount of money, right? So how it is possible? It is a stage where you learn and develop few good things within you. Okay, and these things are not inherited from your parents. It is that you are developing by your own self, right? So you're in the images you can see a boy is reading, and this study knowledge or what do you say, interest in studies, so this are some acquired traits. Okay, so these are the things that you are cultivating by your own. You know what is good and what is wrong, right? And you're making friendship with good people. So this is all things which is not inherited from your parents. Okay, so as I said, the example, uh, for example, so I'm very good at cooking. Okay, so I make very good dishes. Maybe my daughter or my son doesn't have that ability of cooking good dishes. That doesn't mean that what do you say, so those things are, so cooking skill is within me. Okay, that is where I learned. Okay, and these are said to be acquired knowledge that you apply on things, right? So this is not inherited from my parents. My parents wouldn't be good enough in cooking, isn't it? So it's like that. And playing or skating, so your father or mother doesn't know skating, but you are very good in skating, you are well versed in skating, right? So this is not inherited from your parents, that is acquired by yourself, isn't it? So this is about the acquired traits. So as we studied about inherited traits, so it might be eye color, right? And the pattern of your hair and rolling of your tongue, okay, and the ear lobe. So even you get what do you say, your people go to parlors and they get their hair straightened, they apply color to the hair. At last what the gene is, that is only going to displayed, right? So we, though we die, our gene doesn't change. Okay, so this is said to be inherited traits, and these characters are going to be inherited for the progeny from the parents, right? So it might be teeth patterns or little finger, whether it is straight or crooked, right? And widow speak, all these are said to be inherited traits which has been transferred from parents to progeny. Okay, so you got to know what is the difference between acquired trait and inherited trait, right? And children, here is a major difference you can see, and the questions will be asked to write the difference between acquired trait and inherited trait. Okay, so what is acquired trait? So these are the traits which are developed in an individual due to special conditions. Sorry, there's a spelling mistake, it is due to, D UE. Okay, I missed out E. So these are the traits which are developed. So which has been developed within yourself. You are going to develop, you are going to cultivate that habit. Okay. So due to special conditions. So parents will identify your talent, whether you are good at singing, whether you are good at dancing, skating, basketball playing. So that talent is hidden within you, and that is developed. Okay, that is developed in yourself. Maybe your parents was not that good at football, you are a champion in football. That is the thing which you are developing within yourself. That is said to be acquired trait. Okay, and coming to inherited trait, these are the traits which are passed from one generation to the next. If you are short like your mother or dad, that means that height of you is inherited from your either of the parent. Okay, and yes, I said I have a widow's peak, so this might be inherited from my mother or father. So I'm like a mixed combo of both the parents. It's something like that. Okay, some resemble same exactly like their mother, some they resemble exactly like their father. That means the characters or the traits inherited from parents to their offsprings. Okay, and coming to acquired trait, they cannot be transferred to the progeny. As I said, the skills or the ability or the knowledge. Okay, so this cannot be transferred to the progeny, that is developed within themselves, that is acquired traits. And wherein inherited traits, they get transferred to progeny. So like hair pattern, eye color, right? Height of the individual, earlobe, widow's peak, all these are the characters or traits which gonna transfer to the progeny. Okay, and here in acquired trait you can see they cannot direct evolution. Example, low weight of starving beetles. Like I explained about in illustration to evolution, where the bushes get diseased and beetles doesn't get enough food to consume and they become weak, right? So this might be a it doesn't lead to direct evolution. Okay, where in case of inherited traits, the gene doesn't change here, right? So if they are weak, only they will be weak. If they reproduce and produce new beetles, they will be healthy only, because here genes cannot be altered in case of inherited traits. Okay. So to learn more about this acquired and inherited traits, we have so many discoveries from famous scientists. Okay, and there are few theories you gonna learn. Okay, theories in support of evolution. These theories are going to support the evolution. So after origin of living cell, so the next question that arose was, how did so many different species of complex life form come into existence? So we know that a living cell was origined, right? So after this, how could a complex living organism can form, right? So this was the major question that would have run in everybody's mind. So for this, Carolus Linnaeus said that no species is new. So no species is new here. That means each species originate. Okay, human species or mango or monkey, all these species originate from pre-existing species. Pre-existing means from their ancestors. I am originated from my parents. My parents originated from their parents. So they originated from their parents. It's like that. It means pre-existing life. So there was a life before we existed. Okay, so even if you look at puppies are originated from dog. How come dog originate? It is from their parents, right? Same like that, every species it is not new, but these are originated from new, that means pre-existing species. So which was the statement that given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, and coming to James Baptiste Lamarck, Lamarckism is very important concept. Lamarck theory of acquired and inherited explained in his book, namely. So he written a book called Philosophy Zoologique. Okay, so this theory states that use and disuse of an organ leads to change in the organ. For example, giraffe's neck. So if giraffe wouldn't made use of its neck, maybe the organ wouldn't have developed, right? So how did giraffe's neck developed? So when it was so hungry and it didn't get any sort of food, so what did it do? It tried to pluck the leaves from the tall trees, which wouldn't be reached, right? And what it does is it keeps on attaining that stage where it can reach the leaves. So it made use of its organ, that is neck part, so the organ developed, right? So he was the person who gave this statement: use and disuse of an organ leads to change in organ, okay, which is inherited by the offspring as well. And the favorable variation remain for longer period of the time results in evolution of new life. So if there is a variation in the sense suitable variation, so where the organism adjusts to the environment and they adapt to that environment, okay, in favorable condition, what happens? They remain for a longer time, like how green beetles remain for a longer time because of the color of the bushes. So because of that, the crow couldn't recognize them, right? So they sustain for a longer time and they give a same progeny, and that results in the evolution of new species as well. So Lamarckism, one statement is very important, that is use and disuse of organs leads to the change in organ. That concept is important. So children, I hope you got a brief knowledge about acquired trait and inherited trait and few theories, okay? So I will be sending the worksheet, do solve it, okay? Have a good day.